Hey everybody, Lee from PcjunkieMods here. So today we're going to do a little unboxing and review of the new Phanteks chassis. It's from the Enthoo series. It is the Enthoo Pro. So I'm not going to do your normal, average, everyday Joe unboxing where I actually cut it open and pull out the chassis. I'm just going to unbox it and show you what was inside. So let's get to that. Alright, so now we have the chassis out of the box. It is a very nice looking chassis. I'll spin it around here so you can get a better look at it. It is all black, as you can see. Very, very dark. It's a little bit taller than a mid-tower chassis. I think it's, what was it, 21 3/4 long by 21 inches tall by 9 1/4 wide, which is a little bit bigger than a mid-tower. So the whole chassis is made from steel and brushed plastic. What I mean by brushed plastic is it almost has an anodized metal look, but it has an actual texture feel to it. I really like the way it feels. It's something different. I haven't seen it on any other chassis before. So it's got, as you can see, nice clean mesh intakes, top and front, and the split window with the logo behind, the Phanteks logo, which you could probably remove, put your own logo there if you wanted to, and then your other window. It is capable of housing micro ATX, ATX, eATX, and SSIEEB. I want to just call that SciEB, but whatever it is. You know, it's for like the bigger board, like a workstation, like an Asus workstation WS board. It's really long, really, really long. It also has 8 expansion slots on the back, lower mounted power supply, which is the most common nowadays. So let's go ahead and take a look at what also came in the box. So in the box we have your user manual. Actually, we had this cool box here that had everything inside it. We went ahead and emptied that out for you. So we had the nice user manual here, the little toolbox that has all the screws and stuff in it, and they're all sorted and separated into their own little compartments, a couple straps, and a few zip ties here. That's what came with the chassis. So let's go ahead and get down and dirty into the chassis and go over some more stuff. All right, so we got the doors off, so let's take a tour of the inside. We'll go ahead and start in the front here. In the front, as you can see, there's a little door here. You push in here and lift up, and it gives you access to your USB 3.0, your USB 2.0, your audio ports, and a reset button there. Now for the start switch, it is located on the top here. So looks like there's a nice little ring around it, so I'm assuming that there's an LED behind that. Then on the front, you also have capable of 3 5 1/4 drives here. And then you have the nice big mesh area, which has a 200mm fan behind it, and it also has an intake around the outside edge here. All right, so let's get into the hard drive space. So we're capable of 6 3.5 hard drives, your mechanical drives, and then also a total of 7 2.5 drives. Now there'd be 6 here for the 2.5, and then a location of 1 here on this little sliding carriage. And you could also take this carriage and move it down here into this bottom location here. So, and then also on the back, as you can see, you have the PWM fan controller here. And then also what we have is plenty of spots here to put these cool little cable ties from Phanteks, got their name across them. So, and then you have plenty of zip tie spots for zip tying your wires down, you know, whatever, however you want to do it. These are Velcro, and then they're screwed in on one end. So they make for a nice connection here. No plastic, that's good. And then you have plenty of cables back here. As you can see, you got your I/O for your switch, your LEDs, USB 3.0, stuff like that. And then you got more cable ties up along the side here, more zip tie areas, and then a couple of grommets toward the top. We'll talk about the grommets. We'll flip it around the other side now. Let's go to the back real quick. So on the back, we have a 140mm intake or exhaust fan that actually has this nice sliding mechanism, so you can take the fan, you can put it in the low position, or you could have it in a high position depending on where you want it. It is also capable of a 120mm fan here with the sliding setup also. And I did notice that back here there's the sliding cutouts I want to say this is for optional reservoir. If you wanted to mount a reservoir in this location, this would probably be from the inside. This would probably be where you would screw that in. That's a cool little afterthought. And then, like I said before, 8 expansion slots. About a bottom mounted power supply. So let's go ahead and get into the power supply. So the power supply comes with a power supply cover. I've already unscrewed the back. So basically you just unscrew it, pull it out. It is made out of metal, aluminum or steel, and it's got a grommet here on the front. One thing that I didn't mention earlier that came in the accessory pack is a reservoir bracket. Now the reservoir bracket for water cooling enthusiasts is perfect because you can mount your reservoir to it and it goes right in this location. It screws in from the top, and there's a couple screws that actually screw in to the cross member where the hard drives are at. So let's talk about down here in the power supply area. We have nice big grommets for the power supply to rest on. If you have a short power supply, they have grommets. If you have the long power supply, they have grommets there also. And then you got these are the nice kind of wire pass-through grommets, not real stiff. They're easy to move and get your wires through there. So for more cooling options on the inside of the chassis, so like in the top area, you're capable of up to 320 millimeter fans, or 340 millimeter fans, or 2 of each of those 2, or even you could put a 360 rad for water cooling, or a 420 rad for water cooling, or a 240 or a 280, you know, so on and so forth. So the biggest is obviously the 360 and the 420. And then in the bottom, there's capable of a 140 millimeter fan and up to a 240 millimeter radiator in the bottom, which would be 220 millimeter fans. So, and then as far as cooling goes on the front, it is capable of the 200 mil that it comes with, and it is capable of a 240 millimeter radiator, which is 2 120 fans, or 2 140 millimeter fans for cooling. Now for water cooling, the 140 millimeter, it's only capable of 1 140 unless you make some modifications. That's most of the stuff that I've read in their book, in their manual. So then you also have your cool little Phanteks logo down here, where you could actually unscrew these screws, make your own placard, put it on there, whether it's your business, your name, your whatever, your gamer tag. So that's a cool little feature. And speaking of cooling, so on the back here, there is a removable fan filter on the back. And then if I spin around to the front here, there's also a fan filter here in the front, located in the front. Let's see. So that one just slides right out also. That one's a little stiffer, but it does come out. There's another fan filter here behind the front panel. You do have to take the front panel off to get that one out. So, and then here on the 5 1/4 is toolless design. They have their cool little locks for your 5 1/4. And then also, speaking of toolless, the hard drives are totally toolless also. They have, for the 3 1/2s, they're totally toolless. These lock right into the drives. For mechanical, the SSDs will require a screwdriver and screws. And you can remove the hard drive cages if you were so inclined. There's a couple thumb screws for each setup here. What I was looking at inside the book, from my understanding, almost this whole chassis is totally modular. There's a couple screws back here that would pop the top off. And then basically this piece you can take out. You can take the 5 1/4 out, all the hard drives out. You could do a lot of dismantling without having to bust out your rivet gun. So that pretty much wraps up my review of the chassis. Some of the key points that stand out to me were the power supply cover, the water cooling friendliness, being that it comes with a water cooling reservoir bracket is an awesome feature. All the toolless design for the hard drives and the 5 1/4, and of course the PWM fan controller here in the back, and the wire ties, and the build quality is really nice. So another cool thing about the chassis is that there's 2 different versions, one being a non-windowed version, which is $89.99, and then the one I currently have right here in front of me is the windowed version, which is $99.99. Once again, I'd like to thank Phanteks for sending me the chassis. I look forward to building in it in the near future. Thanks for watching my video. Until next time.